Hey up everybody, how you doing and welcome back to the Movie Massacre Show. I'm going to talk about why Frankenhooker is my favourite comedy horror of all time. So buckle up you degenerate cinephiles, because I'm about to lay down the gospel on why Frankenhooker is the greatest horror comedy ever made.
Frankenhooker. Jeffrey Franken has a plan. He has the ingenuity. He has everything he needs, except raw materials.
Hold still, Dixon. Onion!
Straight off the bat, first off, Frankenhooker has the balls, literally and figuratively, to take the tired old Frankenstein story and say, you know what, let's make it about a New Jersey nutjob sticking together his dead fiancée from exploded hooker parts. That's not just a plot, that's a fever dream you'd confess to a priest after a 3-day bender. James Lawrence as Jeffrey Franken is a sweaty motor-mouthed genius. Think Dr. Frankenstein if he chain-smoked poor moles and worked at a power plant instead of a castle. This guy's so unhinged he drills holes in his own skull to calm down, which is the kind of self-care routine that I can respect. Then there's Patty Mullen as the titular Frankenhooker. She's not just a reanimated corpse, she's a walking, talking sex bomb with the grace of a drunk giraffe, and a vocabulary limited to hooker catchphrases like, "Wanna date?" and "Got any money?" She's out there electrocuting Johnsons into bloody firework displays, and it's comedy gold. Imagine Bride of Frankenstein if Ezra Lanchester ditched the bandages for purple platforms and a miniskirt. It's classy, it's trashy, and ass-kicking all at once. The premise alone is a middle finger to good taste. Jeffrey's girl Elizabeth gets mulched by a remote control lawnmower, because who hasn't gifted the father-in-law a death machine for his birthday? In a blaze of blood, bones and body parts, she was reduced to a tossed human salad, as it says on the news in this movie, which is a great part. And if that line just doesn't make you cackle, you're already dead inside, in my opinion. From there, Jeffrey's like, no biggie, I'll just hit up NYC, blow up some hookers with super crack, and build my baby new body. It's the American dream, but with more dismemberment and fewer apple pies. My favourite part of this whole film, which really stands out to me because there's so much going on and it's hilarious, it's incredible and it needs to be talked about. Let's talk about the famous super crack scene. This is a moment in the movie where it just goes from what the hell am I watching to this is the most batshit beautiful thing that I have ever seen. It's the beating, exploding heart of this film, and I'm here to dissect it. Because this is where the rubber meets the road, or rather, where the crack meets the hose. Picture this, Jeffrey Franken, this deranged DIY mad scientist, needs premium parts to rebuild his lawnmower shredded fiancée, Elizabeth. His plan? Head to the sleazy underbelly of New York City, hire a load of prostitutes and test his own made super crack, a concoction so potent it makes regular crack look like baby aspirin. He's not just a grieving boyfriend, he's a one-man demolition crew with a medical bag and a dream. This scene kicks off in a grimy motel room. You just gotta think, stained carpets, flickering neon lights, and the kind of vibe where you'd catch tetanus from the doorknob. Jeffrey's rounded up a handful of working girls, each one a caricature of 80s excess big hair, loud makeup and the sass that could cut glass. They're expecting a wild night with this twitchy weirdo, maybe some cash and a quick exit. Instead, they get a madman pulling out a pipe loaded with glowing purple super crack like it's some kind of cursed Willy Wonka candy. He pitches it to them like an infomercial gone wrong. This is going to take you to heights you've never dreamed of. The hookers, bless their skeptical little hearts, are like, yeah, sure, buddy. Let's see what you got. They light up, they take a hit, and boom! This isn't your average overdose scene. No quiet slump in the corner here. These women start exploding, and I don't mean metaphorically, like they literally just burst like overripe tomatoes stuffed with firecrackers. It's incredible. It's something that you need to witness if you haven't seen this film. One by one they go off like a chain reaction of human grenades. First it's a scream, then a twitch, then a pow, a torso splits open, guts spray the walls and limbs fly like confetti at a parade nobody asked for. One chick's head pops off and bounces across the room, another's chest caves in like a piñata full of blood. The practical effects are gloriously low budget. Think rubbery prosthetics and ketchup packet gore. But that's part of the charm in this film. It's so absurdly over the top that you can't help but laugh while you're gagging. Jeffrey meanwhile is just standing there unfazed like a kid who finally got his science fair okayed go to work. He's dodging flying femurs and collecting the best bits for his Frankenhooker project. Because you know, a guy's got to have standards when he's building his dream girl. The room turns into a slaughterhouse buffet. There's legs, arms, torsos that's still twitching like it's trying to dance its way out of the room. It's a symphony of chaos scored by shrieks and squelches with Jeffrey as the mad conductor. What makes this peak comedy is the gore. It's the sheer lunacy of the setup. This isn't a tragic cautionary tale about drugs, it's a gleeful middle finger to taste and logic. The supercrack isn't even a plot device, it's just a punchline. Who else but Frank Henenlotter would think, you know what's funnier than a drug binge? Making it a literal meat fireworks show. It's the kind of scene that dares you to look away but knows you won't because it's too damn ridiculous to resist. The result of the aftermath? Jeffrey calmly bags up his haul. Prime cuts of hooker carnage and strolls out like he's finished grocery shopping. There's no cops, he's got no consequences, he's just a guy with a duffel bag full of body parts and a smile. It's a perfect encapsulation of Frankenhooker's vibe. Unapologetic, unhinged, and unafraid to blow up every shred of decency just for a laugh. So why is Frankenhooker the greatest horror comedy of all time? It's not afraid to be a glorious offensive mess. It's a horror comedy that doesn't just push the line, it snorts it, screws it and blows it up. If you want subtlety, go and watch Little Women. If you want a movie that grabs you by the throat, slaps you with a severed arm and leaves you howling, Frankenhooker is the damn king or queen, depending on the body parts. Amen. And that's it for this week. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and share it with your friends. It helps us a lot and we really do appreciate it. Join our damn cult, say they.